Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what's going on with our intro. A little bit weird. All I was getting was a black screen and nothing was going, so I'm gonna have to play with that, I think. But welcome back.
A Marine was running it.
Someone said it at last. Wait, what?
Yeah, we're all out of crayons here. But welcome back. We are live tonight, and joining me, as always, is my very esteemed co-host, TC. TC, welcome.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Spawn Trooper.
Oh, in the heart.
Spawn Trooper doesn't like being here.
Spawn Trooper spends more time on your streams than I spend on my own.
Well, you should take a leaf out of my book then. You should be here more often. Then.
Well, I have to work, so.
Well, complaining won't get you anywhere, will it?
No, we have added Rumble to the stream, so we are live on Rumble. And but if you would like to, is it I'm right now? The health of the stream looks good. But if you'd like to comment, we can't integrate Rumble. So
I agree. End all immunity, damn jarheads.
But yeah, we did find a way to pick up live streams on Rumble. So those on Rumble,
yeah, you got to pay for that crap,
right?
Wait, what?
The only thing I will say is it's easier to get monetized there.
Yeah, someone else has said that.
Yeah, you just have to have a channel and you're monetized. It's just slow.
And they pay something like 2 cents for every view, and calculate like every.
I haven't logged into mine for a while. I'm wondering what I'm sitting at.
1.6 million.
Oh gosh, trust me, if I was at 1.6 million for revenue on Rumble, Skipper would not have gotten the text he got yesterday.
No, I mean, like, I'm still getting used to YouTube, to be honest with you, ever since I got thrown into it. So,
what I love about this is I just went to my YouTube and we've got Veteran Nation, and I can see that we're live streaming. We've got Minnesota Black Robe Regiment and AVA. We're out on all these platforms.
Oh, right, great. Rub it in. Why don't you?
Hey, we're trying to get you monetized, Spawn Trooper.
Oh, God, that's going to be...
We got to get AVA monetized, too.
We do. It's his watch time that we need to build up, and I've been working on that.
I mean, the thing is, I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do if I do get monetized. Where do I send it? Do I split it up into different categories, like military charities, or
send it to Todd Pearson, Rochester, Minnesota?
No, don't. Well, no, do not send it to Todd Pearson in Rochester, Minnesota, because that will go to the wrong person. I'm not worried about doxing myself. I live in Spring Valley, folks. I'm not hard to find. I'm the yellow house with the chickens in the back that the city wants to take away. And if you're watching on my channel, folks, you need to let everybody know that you're watching on my channel, because this is going out multiple places, and I want to show Skipper that I do have people that watch my show.
So what you're saying, you got friends?
I don't know if they would call themselves my friend. Have you?
Until here recently, you've had more subscribers. So
well, that's because you talk about things that are just not in my wheelhouse, and people are really drawn to the drama. So
I'm drawn to the drama.
That's something I was going to ask. Right now, we've already established that it's definitely in the water over there with you Americanese. Why is it that in America drama and toxicity seem to attract? I mean, I'm not saying that everyone in America or every American is like that. I'm just saying, why is it that drama and toxicity seems to attract?
It's not the toxicity, and I want to answer Endall, if you want to throw his comment up. Does AVA have playlists? I believe it does. I believe AVA does have playlists. So
Yeah, I have a playlist. It's Escaping Evil.
But what does that paired mean?
Your own videos?
Can anybody hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Escaping Evil is the playlist.
So, quick question. I'm noticing paired behind in front of people's names. What's that about?
coming from a paired channel.
Right. Yeah.
Some of them show up that way.
Right.
Hey, everybody in chat. I don't know how to.
So,
now I can answer the question about why Americans are drawn to the conflict.
mhm.
And there's no offense to our British friends.
No,
and
you
all
crack on, mate. There's a reason I asked that question.
We are our DNA philosophically is about not agreeing. Just philosophically, we are attracted to the argument about what's wrong with the situation and arguing it out and fighting it out in the hopes of convincing people
That you're right, even though you're not.
Well, yeah, even if you're wrong, you want to be right, but there is we want to argue with people not just to have the argument, but to convince them or to present the evidence. And AVA, you are tasked with getting to Skipper's place and taking that damn soundboard away from him.
Yeah. So that's 2 against 1 now so far. Mm-hmm. I'll hold him, TC. I'll hold him.
so it's very much in our blood, and what you're seeing now, where the toxicity is coming from, is from the people that are running away from the arguments. They don't want arguments; they just want subservience. And so they come in and they're insulting and they're crass and they're demeaning because they don't have the ability to make the argument. And so it's a lot of Skipper's streams, and Skipper knows this. This is not a shock to him. A lot of the people that come in that cause the problem, they're low IQ, low info individuals, and their only arguments are ultimately to insult and demean and attack, and that detracts from the actual argumentation that's taking place.
Right. The reason I'm saying that is because, like, I've noticed, and this probably might change after tonight, after I've mentioned this, but one thing I've noticed is that Skipper and myself, we've really got under people's skin by doing hardly anything. We just sit here, shoot the shit, talk about different topics, and then the next day there's someone on their stream richly foaming out of their mouth because, oh, he's coughing and he's farting and he's burping and he's this, you know. I mean, if you're going to sit there and try to listen to my fart, why don't you just ask me what it smells like and I'll tell you what I had this dinner? I'm sorry, but that's how stupid it's got. And the thing is, like, this is why I sometimes joke about the fact that it must be in the water, because some of the behavior I've seen is, I don't want to, it's unstable, to say the least.
Oh, for sure.
Stay on target.
But I don't know.
Well, but here's something. So I was on with a Josh Slocum on his show on Sunday night. It's called Disaffected. It's Disaffected Pod. And Josh is a former leftist progressive, become classical liberal, more libertarian. A lot of people will call him a conservative, and I don't. Josh is a personal friend, so I don't necessarily see him as a conservative the way a lot of people define conservative. But his entire show really started out with him talking about living in a home with someone who is clinically, even though she refuses to go get a diagnosis, she's clinically she meets all of the parameters for being a cluster B personality disorder, narcissist, and borderline personality disorder.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how his show started. But what happened for him was he was seeing these behaviors in people in the political sphere, these cluster B personality disorder traits in people in the political sphere. And he started to talk about it. And the more he talked about it, the more he kind of withdrew himself. Hey, Tab is here. What's up? And he kind of was drawing himself out of the progressive left into classical liberalism and libertarianism and supposedly conservatism. And so now he applies that in his shows, and what he talks about, and he goes in and he breaks down politics and politicians and people in that community to talk about what they do from that perspective of cluster B personality disorders. And America has a large percentage of people, and I don't know if it comes down to just the sheer population of the US or if it's the overabundance of psychologists and psychiatrists, but I could tell you that as you look around, there is a large percentage of people in the US, especially on the left, who are cluster B adjacent, if not fully in the camp of cluster B. And those people are incredibly toxic. Very, very toxic.
Right. Got a question for you, a follow-on question. 1 second. I don't want to, I'm going to try to use the mute button when I cough tonight. So my follow-on question is this. Do you think that prior to the pandemic and now after the pandemic, I mean, we've all been trained in analyzing certain circumstances and situations. After, before the pandemic and now after the pandemic, do you think that the mental stability in people has changed? Do you think people are more affected by emotions than they are by anything else now after the pandemic?
Oh, absolutely. And I think it was geared for that. I really do. I really do believe that it was geared to draw out the worst in people's mental health. And at the risk of getting us demonetized, or at least this video,
Let's try not to.
there is so much about what took place in 2020 into 2021 into 2022, especially in the US, that was geared towards causing deeper division in the world, but especially in places like the US, because of the strong streak of independence in the United States that really kind of does permeate everyday life. And there again, Spawn, this is not ripping on the Brits at all, but if you look at the Brit response to the US response, people in the US, myself included, early on, we were revolting, and I know we're revolting on several levels, but we were revolting against a lot of what was taking place in varying states and municipalities against these orders that were coming down. And yet you looked over to people who ideologically are the closest to us in Western philosophy, which of course are, the Brits, and it wasn't happening at all.
Maybe because over here, when it started kicking off, because obviously, I was one of the front line. I mean, we got trained up on the ambulances just in case they needed drivers. But the fact that the matter that it hit the UK quickly and hard. So obviously they needed to establish border barriers. And with you guys, because you've got a bigger country, it took longer for this to kick in over there. But when it did kick in, it came with a vengeance. And which, I mean, if you look at it now, a lot of people lost their lives because of the bureaucracy, because of the red tape, and because of people not listening or communicating with each other.
Oh,
Go ahead, Thank you. But the thing is, the biggest issue is because we spend most of our time at work, or we spend most of our time away from the house. Suddenly, we're getting locked. We're getting locked into the house with everyone around us. So we're not sharing just 5 or 6 hours with people. We're sharing 24/7, and I think that has caused a disconnect in the mental level, in the psychological level, and it's caused a lot of problems. And that's what we're seeing now. The pandemic, those 2.5 years, has caused us such a disconnect in every aspect.
Yeah, and what it did for the U.S. was it took a group of individuals. Okay, the U.S. is an individualistic country,
Mhm.
and we have to push back against um, the myth of the United States being a nation. We're not. We're actually not a nation. We were never intended to be a nation. We were always intended to be a republic and to be a country of individuals. And so the pandemic took a group of people who really, whether they were on the left or the right, identified in the midst of the left or the right, really lived their lives in a very Lockean, libertarian way. It forced them into subservience to the state as a whole.
Mm.
And that's where I believe much of the mental health decline came in for the American populace, was that all of a sudden you're being told you're a vital, you're an essential worker, you're a hero, you're not a hero, you're this or you're that, and it's your identity was taken from you
Mhm.
at nothing more than the swipe of a pen.
Yeah.
And then you were threatened with legal consequences if you disagreed.
Mhm.
And that really drove a wedge into people's mental health. And it caused them to say, "Look, I've thought I was independent all along, and here I am completely dependent on a system for my livelihood, for my very being." And it terrified people, and it plunged a lot of people into depression. It just a massive rash of depression sweeping across the United States. And
I mean,
it hit hard, very, very hard.
I mean, over here, when all this started kicking in, there was one thing I noticed, especially with people who I was serving with. They were going, "Oh, I can't do this," because I came out of the regulars and then went full-time reserves. So basically, I'm sitting there listening to these people complain and whine. "Oh, I can't do this because I don't want to catch COVID. I want to do this. I got to do that." And I said to them, I said, "Look, we're going to be in a bubble. Once we're here, we're here. That's it. We're going to be in a bubble. Yeah, but I can't do this. I'm going to need to stay with my family." And then after a couple of weeks, you started seeing a pattern. You started seeing a pattern in soldiers who was like coming up and going, "Oh, I have to go for my COVID jab." I went, "What do you mean you got to go for your COVID?" "Yeah, apparently we have to have our COVID jabs now." I was like, "What?" So I went to a certain individual who I would love to name because he was an absolute penis. Anyway, and
He's self-censored. It's amazing. He's having
this guy was an absolute penis, and he was a major. And I walked into his office. I said, "Excuse me, sir." And he went, "Yeah." I said, "What's this about the guys needing?" Because when you got your COVID jab, your first one, you'd get a card, and it would put the date and the type of jab you got, and then you kept that. So when you went for your second one, because they only gave you 2, and he was like, "Yeah, I want it now." Or, "Where's yours? Where's yours?" And I looked at him, and I just went, "Excuse me, sir." I just banged one out, put one up, and then I fucking. Yes, I worded that wrong, Mike. Fuck off. Right. So I banged one up, walked out, went to the guys. I said, "Look, if you want to take the jab, take the jab. If you don't. But if it's in part 1 orders or it goes into orders, you need to do, I know, oh, all right." And we lost. Wait
a minute.
Over.
Wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Did they give you an actual option?
At first, it was like, you need to take it, go and take it. at first it was like, everyone was suggested, and then suddenly it started getting in.
Ah,
It
okay.
started, so it was there was a lot of hypocrisy. There was a lot of back and forth. There was a lot of, yes, no, you have to, no, you don't, blah, blah, blah. Because the thing is, what you have to understand over here in the UK, you've got regular forces, then you've got reserve forces. The reserve
we have that. We have that here in the US as well.
Yeah. Well, the reserve forces, there's only so far you can push them. Say, for example, if you ag a reserve soldier, right, and that guy can stay on your system for 3 months, right? You get sanctions like, he was a bad boy, don't do it again. That reserve soldier doesn't have to turn up for 3 months. He'll just say, "Oh, I can't come in for the next 3-4 months because I'm working." Yep, not a problem. He'll come back 3 months later. There's nothing you can do. This is not the regular army. This is not the regular forces where you can charge.
Our reservists and our National Guard, we have the National Guard and the reserves here, and they don't even get that much play, that much room. They were kicking people out of active duty. I had a Marine friend that got booted from the Marines for refusing to take the jab. It was an ugly situation. Skipper, save your thought for just a second. After Service Adventures has jab 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 check. You need to put that up on the screen real quick. And then say your piece. I recognize an airborne brother everywhere I go. So the Canadians learned everything they know about jumping from us. So I just want to say
that. This story is today. This happened today. And I was reading about this earlier today. What happened is in New York, all these state workers who lost their jobs because they refused to get vaccinated, they all sued, and it went to the New York Supreme Court. And the New York Supreme Court sided with the plaintiffs who lost their jobs for refusing to take the COVID shot. The court ordered all New York City employees who were fired for not being vaccinated to be reinstated with back pay.
Oh, shit. Snap. And by the way, I thought it was 1,001, 1,002, 1,003 check canopy.
And
no, it's 4.
And that's 1,700 employees who were fired.
You count to 4 because that gives you that extra second in case there's a little bit of a delay. And if you count to 5, it's too late to open your reserve. So it's
splat.
there is no room for I lost count. That's why the Marines when they jump, they have to have somebody from the Air Force and the Army with them. So.
Here's a crowd catch. No, excuse me. One thing I do want to say though, yes, I had 2 COVID jabs. Right, it didn't affect me one bit. But when all this,
says the guy that's coughing.
No, I've had this cough since '96. So leave me alone, Baldy. All right. Anyway,
by choice,
Right, girls, handbags at 10 paces. After that second jab, they started coming to the third one, and this fucking plank of an officer walked in, and he went, "Oh, they're offering the third jab. Any volunteers would like to go and get one?" And I just looked at him and I went, "Yeah, no, no." No.
Yeah, we learned a lot about all of our individual cultures here in when you look at the West as a philosophical monolith, we learned a lot about our cultures, and we learned a lot about what we think is how hardcore we are. And if we had to fight the American War for Independence again today, right now, we would all be speaking the King's or the Queen's, the King's. Now that it's the King, we'd be speaking the King's English.
Mind up, will you? No, No, I have to stop you right there. I think if that all happened again, if we went back to 1776 and this happened again, I think you would have like 2 large groups arguing with each other who's better dressed. That's what would bloody happen. And then you would get
they were doing that then, too. They were all arguing over whether or not they were going to be red coats or blue coats. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but you do have a point. I mean, if it happened today, it wouldn't be as I don't say yes, you would be speaking the King's English or the Queen's English or the Oxford English to keep it neutral. What you'd be speaking is a lot of nonsense, because the way it's become over the last 10, 15 years is, I mean, perfect examples. Look what's going on with the situation Otter Creek. Look what's going on around the world. Look what's going on with Trump. Biden, if they're going to let someone like, and I do apologize if anyone's a Biden fan or Biden supporter, okay, but as an outsider and non-Americanese, and I sit on and I watch the news and I see that old fucker standing up there and doesn't even know what direction he has to walk, let alone know where he is. I think you've lost everything over there. You need to get control of your if you can't control the person who runs your country, who's running it?
Well, and see, and that's Phil. Oh man, I wasn't planning on going this direction tonight. But see, that's philosophically the problem with the American people, is that we have completely reversed the intent of the Republic. When you look at it from a Lockean and a Rutherfordian, even going back to Aristotelian philosophy, or Jefferson, Jeffersonianism, the presidential position was never meant to be what it is in the U.S. today. Lincoln rushed in his first run for the presidency with, well, here we go. Lincoln destroyed the Republic. Lincoln did not save the Republic. Lincoln completely destroyed the Republic because he crapped all over the principles of the Constitution. And the entire foundation of the American Republic was built on the truth of secession. And secession was built into the Articles of Confederation. It was ultimately built into the Constitution of the United States and built into what became the Republic, because you had to agree to the Constitution. And what ended up happening is that Lincoln just pissed all over that. And he turned the office of the president from ultimately being kind of this low-level, important but low-level position that was really focused on international politics, trade agreements, and whether or not we were going to have tariffs and things like that, into this ruling from a centralized power source. Because prior to Lincoln, the states had sovereignty over themselves. They didn't have to do what the federal government said. And so Lincoln shred all of that and paved the way for things like the 14th Amendment here in the U.S., which is what the courts ended up using to impose what we refer to as incorporation onto all the states.
So his behavior when he came into power, is this the reason why he got slotted?
I would argue that I would argue that his behavior and the behavior of people under his command, like Grant and Sherman, definitely led to what happened to him. Now, I don't advocate for that per se, but it definitely led to what happened to him. And people have to remember, Lincoln was a devout racist. He despised black people, despised them. He wanted them out of the country. He didn't want them in the West. He wanted to deport them all back to Africa. People who hadn't lived in Africa for generations, he wanted to remove them all from the United States. And so for Lincoln, the Civil War was never about slavery. It was a tool for him, but it was always about centralization of power. And so we can fast forward through all of our history. And you get to where we are today, where everybody's talking about this election between Harris and Trump being the most important election
Every
of our
election
lifetime.
election.
It's because people have decided that geez, the president's the most important position in the United States. And it was never intended to be that way, ever.
Is that why he didn't like the Brits? Because we abolished slavery in 1807?
I appreciate you bringing that up, because I tell people that all the time. If the American Civil War was about slavery, then all we have to do is look to the British Empire, which and I think you'll agree with me on this one, Spawn. The British Empire was in a decline at that point. But
around mid 18th century. So the 18th century was the cooking pot.
Yeah, absolutely was on the decline. But the concern for the British was, we despise slavery. We despise chattel slavery. How do we end it? And you look at Wilberforce and Newton and others who worked towards ending slavery. Their goal was to end slavery without violence. They wanted no violence because they knew it was a possibility. The United States, on the other hand, decided violence was the only way to end slavery.
Yeah, because in 1807, is it 1807 or 1808, we actually brought in the what's it called? The abolition of the Slave Trade Act, if I can remember correctly. Somewhere, I think it was 7 or 8. And in 1830, oh shit, I'd have to do some. I think it's somewhere in the 1830s. Right, it was the Slavery Abolition Act came into effect. That was then, and then we sent out ships to stop other ships with slaves on and free those slaves.
Absolutely. So
I got tree on my house.
So Angry Vet brings up a really good thing. AVA texted me right before I did my live this afternoon on my way home from work. Not that I would ever recommend anybody do a live on their way home from work. I am a professional. So
I'm sorry.
But AVA shared some news with us today that he got an update, and he was just on the Vigilance Committee on Sunday. They did a spotlight on him, and I bring this up because right now there are 3, no offense to my own channel and no offense to Vet Nation, but there are 3 channels on YouTube right now that I had considered to be at the top of the list for important channels on the entire platform of YouTube. And those are not necessarily in any order right now. Are the Angry Vet, a Veterans Affairs Media, AVA, and the Vigilance Committee. Those 3 channels are 3 of the most, if not the most important channels on YouTube right now because of the stories they tell. And what AVA is going through and what the Vigilance Committee has done in telling the stories of people like the Angry Vet and AVA and others is very important to what's happening, because since this is a veterans channel, AVA is getting screwed, and everybody who's been on here knows that AVA has been getting screwed by the VA. And so for every one positive story we get about the Veterans Affairs Administration, we can show thousands of negative stories, and AVA highlights that in a way that nobody else can really understand until you start to dig into this, like Angry Vet has and Blind Justice has. So AVA, if you're there, can you update us a little bit?
And AVA, can I show the letter? If you say no, I won't show it.
Yeah, as long as it's blacked out on the PID.
Yeah, no, put all of his personal information on there. I want his address out there. I want all of it. I want it all out there.
And I want to know how big his man sausage is, so we can put that in there as well.
I'm -1 inch.
Yeah,
we got
the thing is. Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Okay, so thank you for the introduction there, TC. far as an update goes, I don't know how well aware everybody is, but I'm pretty sure we are what the VA has been doing. But I tried to gain accountability and follow the rules of the VA and file what's known as a tort claim. Or yesterday, I received word back from the tort department, which I guess is their legal team. And long story short, they told me that they aren't going to do anything and they don't feel that what was done to me was wrong. They feel that because the staff did this on the VA time. This is from what I read. I might be misunderstanding this, but it's they feel that they've done nothing wrong to me. I don't know how else better to explain that, but
Here's the letter here.
there's zero accountability.
So it sounds like they're using certain rules within in whatever act they're using to circumvent their responsibility. That's what it sounds like. So they're making sure that they're covering themselves legally by the sounds of it, and they don't want to take on responsibility.
Here, this right here, where it says our review concluded there was no negligent or wrongful act on the part of an employee of the VA acting within the scope of employment that caused compensable harm. This is quite normal for the VA to say we investigated ourselves and found we did nothing wrong.
Hang on a minute. How can you investigate yourself when you are the one on the chopping block? There should be an independent investigation team dealing with that. Not yourself. It's just basically if I turn around to TC and I said, right, TC, I want you to investigate that soldier and that soldier. Right. He then needs to go to another senior NCO or to another person and get them to do it because he can't do it because he's biased.
Yeah, the sport department is 100% biased. They have no, how do you say, like they have no wanting to help the veteran. They want to protect and cover down on VA employees.
Yeah, it sounds like the less money they have to pay out, the better for them. By the sounds of it, every time I hear about your VA, it scares the fuck out of me. Sorry for my French, but it scares the hell out of me.
It's not even about the money. We have got to get people to understand that the Veterans Affairs Administration issue is not at all about the money, because right now the VA will pay for gender reassignment surgery without even so much as a
Princess. It's more like a prince to me.
So it's got nothing to do with money, and it has everything at all to do with power. And they want, like, I'm sorry, folks, the United States, the oligarchy, the regime of the U.S., the state apparatus and the state apparatchik want veterans incapacitated and dead. They want us incapacitated and dead.
Well, I am glad that I'm doing this council. Yeah, I'm glad that I'm doing this counselor's course because at least then, I'll be able to help my brothers and sisters over here. Now I've got more reasons to complete this course.
Well, if anybody in the chat doesn't know what's going on or hasn't reviewed my story, let me break it down as nice as I can. My primary care doctor, or my previous primary care doctor, went online, took pictures of me playing airsoft, created a false narrative of me coming into the VA and unaliving people. And just so that you guys know, I have never once in my life ever met this woman. I've never seen her. I've only spoken to her over the phone, and she has created such turmoil in my life and has caused the police to be involved, have the leadership of the VA completely against me. This has stopped my care. My health care is being stopped because of the lies. Every time I try to get medication, I get walls thrown up in front of me. Any type of help that I request, it has to be a fight.
And he's got TBI, so he needs medical care.
Why is this similar to? Hang on a minute. Someone. This is like the fucking spitting image of. Was it Eric or was it Angry Cop? Angry Vet. Isn't this the same, exactly same treatment?
Very
So yeah, very similar. I recorded my care in the VA, not just because it's my patient, right? Because I have TBI. For doing that same act, our friend and our brother, the angry vet, is being shafted so bad that he's looking at 40 years in prison. This is why I have to keep fighting, because it's going to keep happening to other veterans.
Yeah, but you shouldn't do it alone, mate. You need the right team on your side to deal with this. This is. I mean, I'm sorry that I feel like an outsider when I'm hearing this. It's fucking disgusting.
Also, that just got dropped in the chat is the article that that Skipper wrote on my behalf. That's a good rundown of what's occurring and what I'm facing.
Oh, you know. Well, I'm going to say this publicly. AVA, if you ever need a fucking talk, mate, you know where I am, brother.
I've told people, and AVA's heard me say this, Skipper's heard me say this, and this is for everybody in the chat right now. Like, we could disband the VA right now, completely disband the VA right now. I don't care. This is going to sound harsh, and I don't give a shit. Take all that money, fire all those people. I don't care who they are. I don't care how big their families are. Fire all those people. Take all the money that gets sent to the VA, budgeted to the VA every year, and in the amount of money that you could give to every individual veteran still alive and their family members today on an annual basis would be more than enough for them to cover all of their medical expenses and their living expenses.
Mm-hmm.
More than enough. I mean, Skipper, what's the last time we talked about this? Wasn't their budget in like the billions and billions of dollars every year?
238 billion.
Yeah, most of it goes to their pocket.
Exactly. And they're doing things like they're doing in California, stealing land that was donated to veterans' homes, stealing it and selling it off
Down in LA,
to private enterprise.
Peaceful
UCLA,
protest won't work.
that's where their baseball stadium. That land was donated to the city for use of a soldiers and sailors home, and it is not being used for that. It's being used for Brentwood City or Brentwood schools and UCLA to have dorms and a baseball stadium.
Wow. Let me ask you a question. You know, when you guys served, did you have to pay into like a fund, like a day a month or a day a year or something like that?
Well, when I was in the Army, there's a thrift savings program. You don't have to pay into it, but it's highly recommended.
Yeah, I mean, we had a thing called like a half day's pay goes into the benevolent fund, and it was it's like a large pot for the whole the whole army, well, for all services. But when I retired, and I'm not going to go into it in depth, but I needed to get my CPC. And to get my CPC, I needed a certain amount of money, which cost over $2.5 grand. Because obviously you have to do drive-in, you have to, and in the end, I had to use some of my pension to do it.
I want to, before we talk anymore, I want to bring Uncle Frank up because he's older than all of us combined, and we've got to love him for that. But
yeah,
I want to, if you guys are watching, especially my channel mods, make sure that we are linking everyone's channels. If you're watching from Veteran Nation and you're not subscribed to everyone else's channels, please subscribe to their channels. I'm trying to get to 4,000 by the end of December, and I'm almost there. And I would love your help getting there.
Can I just make a statement to that, TC?
Yeah.
Just so you know, my channel, you can subscribe or you don't have to. I don't really care. If you want to come and talk and hang out, fine. But I'm blaming Mike.
Well, I mean, he's an officer and a Marine, so. But let's drive everybody's views up in the algorithm, and you do that by subscribing and then watching when you can. I realize there's thousands of hours of content, and everybody wants to watch who they like. So, but if you could subscribe to everybody's channels, mine, AVA's, Spawn Troopers, Uncle Frank's, Skippers. If you're watching from my channel and you're not subscribed to Better Nation, please do. Skipper and I are good friends. We've been doing this together for a long time. I'm learning to like Spawn.
Liar.
Uncle Frank, if you can turn your mic on, thank you for being with us tonight. We were told you were resting up to tackle all of us young bucks.
Yeah, sit up.
Can you hear us okay?
I have a playlist if anybody wants to check that out.
One of the mods already put it in the chat.
Oh, there we go. We had you.
Am I doing it right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good evening.
How you doing?
Good.
We're doing quite well here, Uncle Frank. We're happy to have you on the show.
Mm-hmm. How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? Yoda, why do I do this?
It's kind of hard on my end to hear what he was saying there.
Yeah, I'm wondering, Uncle Frank, are you using a phone?
Yes, a tablet thingy.
We can hear you, but it's very difficult.
Well, Uncle Frank, while you're here, I had an uncle who was in Vietnam, who was a forward observer, and he did two tours as a forward observer. And this is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I swear to God, if I ever get over there, hammer
a soundboard. The Veterans Affairs Foundation, and you come up with a soundboard as an investment.
Mm-hmm.
Piss off. That's all.
Yeah, I think Uncle Frank's. I think he because he's using his cell phone. Maybe that's the issue. If we can get Yoda, if Yoda's around, and get Yoda to try and help Uncle Frank,
Yeah, I know he was. They said that he was using some Bluetooth, so that also can be an issue.
Yeah. And hang on a minute. Hang on. Time out. What do you mean you're starting to like me, TC? What the hell? What the?
Well, I have to reserve a certain amount of space in my heart for my English friends, and one of them happens to be Tom.
What did you just fucking call me? What did you just fucking call me?
You're a Brit at heart.
I'm a Welshman, mate. I'm a Oh, you just wait till we're off the air. Oh, you're gonna both get fucking both barrels.
I see Uncle Bob. After Service Adventures Canada says my Uncle Bob was 82nd and they were born. I lost it. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. They were born in Vietnam, and I have two cousins that are lying in the bowels of the USS Arizona, so I kind of have close ties with you Yanks. Absolutely. Like, AVA knows this, Skipper knows this. Like, I have an affinity for anybody that's a vet. And one of my causes right now is ending all these wars that have us all so tied together. Not because I don't want to be tied to you guys, by the way. But for the last 82 years, since the end of World War II, the United States alone has been in a constant state of warfare. We have not known a single year of peace here in the U.S. And every time, I'm going to get emotional, every time we go someplace, every time we do something, the two places we look to first are Great Britain in Canada, and we say to them, "Aren't you guys going to come with us? Aren't you going to come fight this war with us? Or, this is a great cause." And so not only are we killing our own boys and girls, we're talking you guys into killing your boys and girls by going to kill in other countries that are no threat to us. And I'm sick and tired of it, because when we come back to the end of these conflicts, which we're still not seeing the end of. I mean, Minnesota just sent troops to Gaza. Those people are going to come back with damage, with trauma. And we're sucking Great Britain and Canada into that as well, and other countries. And we bring them back at the end of their time, and we tell them, "Oh, get back into civilian life and be fine." And that's why veterans organizations are so important. But not organizations, but just Veterans Affairs, whatever the equivalent is in your country. And we fail them. And this has been going on. Make no mistake, this has been going on in the United States for over 100 years. American military troops shot and killed American veterans in Washington, D.C. during the pension protest.
That was MacArthur.
MacArthur ordered American service members to fire on other American service members refusing to disband over the pension.
Was that after the Second World War, wasn't it?
World War One.
Oh, World War One. So yeah, I actually read about that a lot. It's funny you say that. Funny enough, last year.
But it wasn't the first time that something like that had happened.
Yeah.
American troops after the end of the Civil War were shit on.
Yep. They too had to march on Washington.
Mm-hmm. And also, a lot of people forget the fact that in the Civil War, there were battalions of black soldiers who were totally ignored. Everything they did for the North, and they fought and died just like any other soldier.
And for the Confederacy.
No, it's not the Confederate. I'm talking about the North. I can't remember what they.
Confederacy though too.
Yeah, but the thing is, the only thing that came out of that was a film called Glory, and I find
Killer Angels.
And what do you call it? The key to what they call the Red Tails. What they called again?
Are you talking about the Tuskegee Airmen?
Yeah, all this history. Everyone's worried about their own self-centered, but no one thinks about history. And you talk about going to countries and serving in countries. Look at perfect example in 2011, between 2009 and 2012. I think it was 2009 to 2012. There were guys who went through training. There's actually a program on YouTube, and you watch these guys. One of them is a reservist who actually already done a tour in Afghan, and it's called Op Eric. And you watch them go through training and then get deployed to Afghan. An 18-year-old, right, gets hit and unfortunately unalived, and you see everything on that program, and it shows you how quick these kids went from 19, 20 years old, and when they came back, they looked like they were 25, 30, 35 years old. And they came back with a lot of damage. And TC, I fucking agree with you, mate. Everything you said. It's
I have one thing I want to say that when I first started watching TC, he said something that stuck out to me. You want to help veterans, stop making them.
Yep.
And I want to emphasize that wasn't that comes from a really good friend of mine who I wish I had more time to talk to. His name is Dan McKnight, and he is the head of Bring Our Troops Home, which is also pushing the Defend the Guard move here in the United States. I'm an active spokesman here in the state of Minnesota for Defend the Guard. And I would strongly suggest that everybody who watches my channel, watches AVA's channel, who watches Vet Nation, and even Spawn Trooper, I know you have a different audience probably if a lot of your people are coming from
I'm like my YouTube account was going to be based on freaking gameplay, like me decompressing and having fun. But no,
we still want people to look into it. So,
well,
but Skipper has a video he wants to show us. But Skipper can at some point bring up the Defend the Guard.
Sure.
If you're in the U.S., you can go to Defend the Guard. You can click on your state. You can find out who is your representative in your state who is carrying water on Defend the Guard, and read the Defend the Guard legislation. It is one page, folks, one page. And
Hi, Mitch.
all it says is to sum it up. No American soldier or service member in the United States who is in the National Guard will be deployed for any reason anywhere, CONUS or OCONUS. No one will deploy unless Congress has done its job. And if you're an American, you know this. There's no troop will go anywhere unless there's a declared war. That's their job. The president doesn't have the power to declare war at all. That's the job of Congress. But since the end of World War II, we have been fighting endless police actions, unlawful, illegal bankers' wars for 82 years. And no one is saying anything about it. And we've got to end that. And if the United States could stay home and stop going off to places like Afghanistan and Iraq and Yemen and Syria and Lebanon and Gaza and Israel and Saudi, and you just keep going down these lists. Look, we're threatening. Trump wants to bomb Iran off the face of the earth. They pose no threat to the United States. None.
they're just a chihuahua.
No threat to anyone. But he wants to bomb them off the face of the earth. What do you think is going to happen if we bomb Iran?
Mushroom clouds.
Your boys and girls are going to end up going to war.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to end this. And if the United States stops this garbage, then guess what? British and Canadian soldiers don't have to die either. German and French and Norwegian and Swedish troops don't have to die. But the U.S. has to lead the charge on this. And it's not going to happen unless the people are willing to stand up and say, F your wars. I don't care which party you're in. We're done with your wars. And Skipper's heard me say this, and I'm not speaking for the channel. I'm speaking for myself, and I'm speaking for my own channel. The way it's looking now with recruiting in the United States, which I'm glad to see, the numbers are down, and they're continuing to drop. They're going to have to start drafting people. And the minute they announce a draft, I will actively take part in fighting that draft and hiding people.
It'll be like the same thing what happened with the Vietnam War, where people were getting cars and driving to Mexico or Canada.
You have transgenders underneath your floorboards, don't you?
Wait, what?
All of them. Every one of them.
Wait, what? So why do I never get the fucking memo?
You lost them.
Yeah, Uncle Frank's here, by the way.
Hello, Uncle Frank. Is it working now?
Here-
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Uncle Frank.
Some sound.
You ready for me to do it?
We can hear you. It just sounds very muffled.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Are you using an earpiece or have you got your loudspeaker on?
I got a cord.
Oh, right. Okay. Right. So that means you got a microphone in your cable, yeah?
It's in my ear.
Oh, so you got this hands-free thing, right?
You hear him a little bit better than before.
Yeah. Yeah. So how you doing, Uncle Frank? It's nice to hear you.
I'm still went fishing today and caught some fish.
You were fishing?
Yes, sir. Caught some fish.
Nice.
I mean, you caught a lot of fish. Did you use explosives, or did they? I mean, you caught quite a few fish there, from what I heard, from what Yoda said.
Real. We had from Chicken River.
Right. Yeah. I mean, what did Yoda say? He caught some. What did he say? He caught. I can't remember what he.
The river?
We did bay.
Did you say in the bay?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I wonder if he'd be better off without the earpiece.
I don't know. I do know it's a tablet, I believe they're using.
I'm using this tablet out again.
Okay. So, Uncle Frank, let's see if maybe it'll adjust as you go. Can you tell us a little bit about your service?
Got drafted. It won't go with a win. With the basic, specifically to Louisiana. That's all I want to talk about.
Okay.
I seen stuff that you tell me wouldn't dare to see.
I believe that. Are you guys able to hear him okay?
I'm getting a little better.
Yeah, I'm hoping that the levels adjust as we go.
I apologize.
Now, can we ask what unit you were with?
I don't talk about Vietnam. I'm sorry. It's just,
Sure.
I don't talk about it. I'd rather just tell you I was a total rat, sir. That's all. I don't talk about much of anything with Vietnam.
Okay.
Totally understand that.
Can you just tell us what unit you served?
Sir,
What years?
I did 65, 68. I did tours in 65, 68. Got to come home and got returned in 69. 3 tours.
That was 65, 68, and he came home in 69. Is that correct?
I came home out in 65. I did 67. Came home in 67 because I had a wound and I went back.
Roger. Well,
And
I got jungle foot. You know what that is?
Did you say trench foot or jungle foot?
No, jungle foot. We call it jungle foot.
Oh yeah.
jungle foot, trench foot. Yeah. But you said that, if I can remember correctly, you said that you were a tunnel rat. I know that you don't want to talk.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, roger that. Respect that, sir. Roger.
you've been having recent troubles with the VA yourself, correct?
Yes, sir. And yeah, he messed my pay up and was taking money that wasn't supposed
Yeah,
to.
that
The DA,
I was talking to your nephew, and he said that yeah, they've been checking your pay, and you're fighting to get it back now.
yes, sir. They messed up and took money that wasn't supposed to.
And you have the DAV helping you at this moment.
Yes, sir.
Very good.
That old gentleman got me in contact, Mr. Robert Towers got me in contact with him, and Yoda was helping me.
Okay. And we've been trying to share your fundraiser because, for those who don't know, Uncle Frank did lose his trailer in the hurricane. So we did a he did a GoFundMe, and we've been sharing that out, trying to get you as much help as we can.
Yes, sir. I don't think that thing is up anymore. Do I have to ask Yoda?
Now with the DAV, it looks like they're going to be able to give you some good assistance and help you get that money.
Oh, yes, sir. Yoda can tell you more about that. I don't really understand, sir.
Okay.
They took money out for something that they weren't supposed to. And my sweet Elizabeth helped me with all that when she was living.
Well, at least you're getting the help for that's the important part.
In fact,
Yeah,
I'm gonna ask and see if we can. I'm gonna see if the fundraiser is still up.
Thank you for your service, sir.
yeah.
Thankfully, I put my country gave me.
My uncle, my dad's youngest brother, did 2 tours in Vietnam as a forward observer for the 82nd Airborne. It was part of the reason I chose the 82nd, Uncle Frank. So chose to go airborne, and the 82nd chose me. That's how that works. it's
I'm a
a
dirty
really
lady. I'm not afraid to admit it.
I was
You're not a
short. I was short man. So they come with us. They're okay. My couple of times was the main captain. Manky.
We did get word that your fundraiser it did end, but it was very successful. So we're glad to hear that things are definitely improving for you. Are you doing okay since the storm?
I'm with Yoda. I'm doing as good as I can.
Good.
Good
Good.
Lord bless me. I have a roof over my head. I got good food, getting me home back, visiting my fishing buddy, so I'm good.
I like that you said you're with Yoda and you're doing as good as you can. I think that says it all, Uncle Frank.
That's brilliant.
And make in my coffee, I'm good. I
See,
tell everybody, Lord blesses you when you need it. Don't ask for more than you can have.
yeah. Yeah, you got a good fella there, Uncle Frank. He's good people. He's got a good heart.
Yoda might not be my son, but when his grandmama and granddaddy passed away, I took him in. I pretty much raised him from 16 on up. And I signed for him to go in the military. He was a firefighter.
Well, I definitely want to thank you for being a part of our community here. You're always in the chat. You and Yoda, you guys, you're always giving comments. I really do appreciate it. And we're glad we can support you. And if something happens to where you need more help, we want you to reach out. Okay.
And so I don't do the Facebook thing. I do this because it's simple. I can talk to y'all. I know how to do it. Don't know that Facebook thing.
I don't blame you. I'm not a big Facebook fan myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, trust me, he's not, because I get 70,000 requests to participate on Veteran Nation's page every day, and I'm like, I'm at work, Skipper. I don't have time for this. Leave it to a Marine officer to leave the work to an enlisted Army guy.
Yeah. Go on, fight. No, but Uncle Frank, every time I see you pop into my stream, it makes me smile. So again, thank you very much for your service, even though us Brits don't say that. So thank you for your service and thank you for being you. You know, appreciate that.
Tell everybody a smile a day, change a bad day into a good day. And I enjoy speaking to each of you ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And remember the old saying, a smile a day keeps the weird people away.
Helps with the common sense people too, because common ain't common no more.
Oh, I like you. Can I have one? Can I have Uncle? Can I have one?
I think we all need an Uncle Frank.
Yeah, we definitely need an Uncle Frank.
We all have an Uncle Frank. He's here right now.
I don't mind being y'all's uncle. I appreciate love everybody I come across. Just, all you gotta do is stay sweet, be kind, and do good in my book.
Well, Uncle Frank, I know that you have had a long day. It sounds like we woke you up for a nap, is what Yoda said, to be here with us. So if you need to go chase Yoda down for killing.
I don't mind being with y'all, get up from a nap and be with you lovely people. It's fine with me.
Well, we're glad to have you. And anytime you want to, you can.
I answer a question anytime you would like. You got a question, I'll answer it. I don't answer.
I forgot what I was going to say now.
Oh my gosh. You made Spawn Trooper forget what he was going to.
No, what? No, don't apologize for crying out loud. No. What I was going to say, Uncle Frank, is that can you, next time Yoda comes in within arm's length, right, can you just grab him by the scruff and tell him to stop giving me Dr. Pepper, because I am, I mean, I'm drinking so much Dr. Pepper right now. It's, but
right.
no, it's.
That be my wife's fault. If she raised me find something somebody likes, always I'll do it.
But yeah, you the thing is, you are an inspiration for any youngster that is listening in right now, right? So every time I see you in my stream, you're always going to be welcome. You always are.
Some of these youngsters are going to see the world in a hell in a handbasket. They need an old fashioned behind the tool shed. Come to Jesus, me. I've seen some action in the school today.
Go ahead, Skipper.
Because you are a fan of this show, is there anything you'd like to see us change or improve with the show?
I'm fine with it the way it is.
Get rid of Skipper.
I'm going to keep my soundboard.
Or get wigs for Skipper and TC.
I've had enough of you.
That's memory I don't want to hear.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Uncle Frank. I just pressed button 3 and it worked. I'm gonna get it.
I talk to you here, Mr. Mrs. Jen, Mrs. Aussie, all you hello ladies and gentlemen. Too many to remember without seeing you.
This is we have Uncle Frank here. We have AVA here, Spawn, and Skipper, blah, whatever. But I'm watching. This isn't about the people that are watching, but this goes to something we were talking about earlier. I tune into Skipper's streams while I'm streaming my chickens on the
I like
weekend.
your chicken. I
Oh, well,
like your
thank you.
chicken.
Thank you, Uncle Frank.
Freedom
They like
Plot.
you.
You get my treat.
And normally when we're doing our mutual or our not mutual, our individual streams on Saturday and Sunday, Skipper's talking about any number of topics that seem to have a lot of people's attention. And I notice in those chats that while he's doing that, he'll have 100, 200 or whatever people watching. And we're talking to vets tonight because that's what we do. We talk vets and political philosophy. And I'm thankful for every single person that's tuned in tonight. And I'm thankful for every single person in Skipper's stream, especially that has stayed tuned in. But we're not approaching anywhere near the number of live viewers in chat that are normally here for some of those other streams. And I would just ask everybody who watches some playback or maybe who's popping in because they're hoping for the drama that they normally would get with some of those other topics, to ask yourselves why that's more important to you than this conversation about veterans and military stuff.
Fucking here.
Because
may I more wisdom, insight for y'all, gentlemen.
Go ahead.
I give a little wisdom.
Yep.
These people that come in and be nosy and be ugly, I want to let you know, God don't like us, and everybody sees what you do. Just remember that. Y'all be ugly to me, I know it. I got my gut running wrong. I let it roll off my head and keep it going. But some people can't. Remember, as always, God's watching. That's all I want to say.
I think it comes down to the fact that when we talk like this and when we're talking to each other, it's either fear that if they come in here, they'll get just richly destroyed, or two, we don't really give a crap, maybe, and it's their loss. I mean, they could. So go ahead, son.
Be your normal self. Talk the way you normally don't. Don't watch your mouth about me. Be yourself. So you got that cussing like a sailor, boys. Go ahead.
But it's the last bit I didn't hear. Can someone?
I didn't catch the last part.
Like a sailor.
I said, sir, you can talk the way you normally. If you want to cuss. It don't offend me, sir. Be yourself. Don't watch your mouth around me. I'm a person like you are. I get to it out.
Yeah, well, mostly he's concerned about it because YouTube is really weird about cursing and monetization and things like that. So, Skipper, you had a 4-star general story you wanted to share with us. We thought maybe we could share that with AVA and Uncle Frank since they're here.
Yeah, it's I actually had this video went out this morning. I recorded it. This is about an actual thing that's currently happening right now. So let me go ahead.
Oh, geez. Just I want you to let this sink in that we're going to have Skipper talking about something that Skipper's talking about on his channel while he talks about something on his channel.
Yes.
Sounds like Minority Report.
If your brain hasn't exploded, stay with us.
In this video, we're going to be talking about Army 4-star General Hamilton. Now, General Hamilton has very recently been removed from his command for contacting a Army board designed for promotion and selecting command, and trying to unduly influence that board to promote and give a subordinate a command position that the board would not have normally considered. And the board then wrote to the Secretary of the Army saying that they believed they were being unduly influenced. And the Secretary of the Army has removed General Hamilton, again a 4-star general, removed him completely from Logistics Command. This is incredibly complicated. A general being removed from command is a rare thing in it itself, and a 4-star is very rare. Now also add in that General Hamilton is black. General Hamilton has since, to the investigatory board, written a letter not only claiming that the Army has distorted facts, but he's also claiming racism. For me, my whole 2 cents on this is this. This is a 4-star general. He's been in for over 40 years. 42 years, I believe, is how many years he's served. He's in the twilight of his career, and he is absolutely trying to cling on to power at this point. Someone in his position, whether I understand wanting to clear your name, but he is actually asking to be reinstated into his position. He is 100% feels he's entitled to that position, and that is a bad thing. As any type of military officer, he should just say, look, just clear my name and I'll retire, get my 40-year pension and be on my way. But this is not what you're seeing. They're clinging to power. They want to cling to, no, I'm the one in control, which leads me to believe that what he was doing with the board is probably founded, at least in some part. So this is what we're seeing among today's current military officers, which really, to me, backs up that we need to go into our military leadership right now and just clean house. We have people who, they won't think twice about breaking our codes and our integrities and our honor, just for the sheer fact of they think they're important and deserve command space. No one is ever deserving of command. It is something that absolutely is a privilege. It's something that, no one should ever feel entitled to it. You should actually feel that, hey, you should be reluctant in that command, like, I don't think I'm worthy. Those are the leaders that we really need, because when you don't think you're worthy, you're always going to try to attain that higher level to prove your worthiness. And when you think you're worthy, you get people like General Hamilton who think that, they should be entitled to tell Army boards, hey, no, you should put this person in command, or you should promote this person. And then when that's highlighted as wrongdoing, oh, it's racism that you're not giving me my command. Well, no, it's you think you are entitled to that command, and that is not at all how the military should work ever. The military has to maintain good order and discipline. The military has to establish very high standards, and when you think you're entitled to something, the standards always go down. So that's my story about General Hamilton. This is an ongoing story, so everyone keep paying attention about this, and I think it's going to highlight some really bad things in our military.
So what the accusation was is that he was trying to influence promotion boards?
Yes, he was going to a command board and saying, hey, you should give this lieutenant colonel that works for me a command position. And it was someone they were not, did not have the marks, anything to be considered. And he was pretty strong in his language and forceful with how much he was contacting. And yeah, they approached the Secretary of the Army, the general in charge of the board, and said, "We feel intimidated."
That's you know,
They should just can him.
well, that's what they're doing.
I'm back.
It's I don't know. When you for him to bring up the discrimination rate based on his ethnicity and whatnot, I'm like, dude, you're a 4-star general in the United States Army
Yeah.
with over 30 years of time in service. You're a 4-star general. Now it's about your ethnicity.
I thought, I mean, that's what triggered me, because I thought that in the military, there's no such thing as color. It doesn't matter where you're from, what color, what background, whatever. We're all the same. We're all fucking soldiers. All right, there's different rank structure. Well, you know,
my dad used to go talk to him. They wouldn't let him out of the army until he got his point system up. They didn't change him over to tours. They kept him on the old point system, even all the way to the free.
Well, I look at every one of us has served really kind of in a different time and through different capacities, and that was ultimately you were entrusting people around you, regardless of their ethnicity, to do the job that they were trained to do and do it well, and you were relying on these people to save your life and to protect your life. And I've never once looked at anybody and said, I can't trust this person because I don't their ethnicity, their skin color, their melanin count isn't the appropriate level for me. And yet here we are with a 4-star general. It's got about as much privilege as you could possibly have in the United States military. I mean, there's literally like no one has more privilege than a 4-star general.
Yeah.
Saying
This would,
it's about white supremacy. What the hell?
this would be like Obama. The country is racist against him. It's like you were the highest position.
I mean, here's the thing. What gets me, and I'm going to say this because I'm a stickler for fucking integrity, right? What gets me, no matter what, not pardon my French, no, what army you're in, it doesn't matter. We have a core values. Like you guys over there, you got your creed, okay? We've got core values. We have also leadership values, and we got service tests. There's no such thing. No, you don't see orientation, gender. You don't see color, you don't see religious anything. It's the core values is based on you as a character, as a soldier, as your I mean, I am slightly speech. How can I put this? I'm trying to not swear, and I'm trying to keep it politically PC as well, so I am struggling. Every soldier is taught the creed or the service test. You know, every soldier is taught sea drills. The core values of your behavior, of a soldier's conduct, behavior, makeup, the whole thing, right? And part of that is discipline, respect, integrity, loyalty, selfless commitment, and courage. That is the makeup of a soldier, not the color or gender or religious beliefs or anything else. So, yeah, I'm going to go to my happy place right now.
And when we're talking about power, you have to understand, generals themselves have power. This is a 4-star. This is, you don't get any higher. And he's also in charge of Army Material Command. That is huge. That is the biggest logistics branch of all of the armed services. Like, it is not even close. The amount of power this guy has, just in federal contract, is crazy. Uh, like, billions of dollars are going through his command, and he's in control of it.
Spawn Trooper must be vigorously type. Yeah, there he is. Vigorously typing away on it.
Yeah, I'm getting triggered. I'm getting triggered. For me, when I was listening to that video, I had to re-listen to it when you said about promotions. Right? If someone is promoted, they're promoted not just on merit, on training, and they're promoted exactly for one thing, that they can lead soldiers. Right? It is leadership. You have to be a leader. Right? It's not you first and then your troops. It's the troops first, then you. You lead by example. If one of your troops is having an issue, right, you deal with it, and you help that troop or that soldier deal with that issue. Sitting on your high pedestal going, oh, I'm a 4-star freaking general.
Hey, Skipper. Angel Parent Perez said trying to stay awake. Can you put her comment up?
Sure.
Trying to stay awake so I don't wake up at 1 a.m. and not be able to go back to sleep. So, Angel, this should help you stay awake. If do not look over your shoulder right now, okay? Do not look behind you. Okay?
I am behind you.
Do not look behind you at this moment. I don't want to say why, but just trust me, stay awake. That's the best thing for you to do right now, because if you looked behind you, you would never sleep again. So please do not look behind you. At all.
We used to, on duty, if we were getting tired and didn't want to fall asleep, we would slowly drink water. And if you have to go number one, don't. Because that way, if you fall asleep, you'll start going.
Angel commented, and I can't see her comment. I have no idea what she said. It just didn't show.
It'll come up here in a second. It's emojis, laughing emojis.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing in a Sanger is like if you knew that one of the guys was sort of like getting tired of that, what we'd do, we'll if we were close to the Sanger, what we'd do, we'd get a respirator. That's the gas mask, by the way. Get a respirator and get like white tape and put teeth on the front where you got the mouthpiece, and then we'd run up to one of the slots, tap on the slot, they would open up and go, and then run off. Yeah, that kept people awake as well.
So, we've been at this now for an hour and a half, and I know Skipper's other streams normally go on for like 6 weeks.
He's having a go at you today.
Trooper. He gets going and doesn't shut up, and I gotta keep going and going and going.
Oh yeah, blame the Brit.
Fuck off.
Blame the Brit. Uncle Frank, did you have anything else you wanted to share with us before we have the others share and get ready to close us out for the evening?
I appreciate everybody. Sorry I was late. I took a nap.
You're good. We're glad that you made it.
No, you do not need to apologize to us.
Yeah. No need.
I can have coffee with everybody.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and thank you so much for everything you've done for this world and for the country of the United States.
That's the way I say it. I'd do it all over again if I was lost.
And thank you very much for being a positive example for the younger generation of today.
Oh, I could say a few short words, but this lady's in here. I just say what I want to say.
Skipper, you want to put Wilburn's comment up real quick?
Look at you go as a producer.
Okay. Hey, Wilburns. I know that, but you still tune in to watch. So
He's got you on that one.
I
Yeah,
don't care whether or not you think my chickens are better than me. As long as you tune in, it drives me up to the in the algorithm, and I get views. So
I think she meant better looking than you.
okay, I've been living with this body for 54 years, so I'm
better.
I'm well aware. And why do you think I come on with my camera on and sit next to Skipper precisely? Because I mean, seriously, like as bad as I might be, he's got a ponytail on his chin, and it's not even a good Viking ponytail.
You can come in there and get on the Yoda or Mr. Trooper. I'm in the middle of the day keeping everybody alive. And Miss Oxygen's always in trouble. They're getting in trouble all the time.
And then End All Immunity comes in and says the chickens are smarter. Really? Wow. Wow.
See? And then you wanted to have a go at me. I'm innocent on this one. And Skipper, you blaming me? Oh, I should throw my handbag into the corner and just fucking ignore you two right now. But oh yeah, you don't need to press that button. I'll just do it for you. Oh yeah.
Okay, can you name who did that song?
Oh, I do know it.
What's the name of the song?
Well, if you watch It's Always Sunny, they'll tell you that the name of the song is De Bow Bow, which it's not.
It's not.
It's Yellow, right?
Yellow. Yeah, it's Yellow, and it's by.
It begins with an O, I believe.
Because you're old.
Stella. It's Yellow by Stella.
So okay, yep.
Oh,
Palmer's
brilliant.
Palmer's Archer Homestead. You're getting chickens soon. You're going to reach out to me for pointers. To do that, you have to subscribe to me on YouTube, and then you can watch my chicken streams, and I answer all chicken related questions and make snarky comments.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I have been known to threaten to get naked, especially when AVA is doing other people's shows. So,
and thanks, Angel Paris, and Angel Paris is blaming me. Why not blame me? Everyone else fucking is. Oops, sorry.
TC, we're gonna have to bring you in. We've been playing the game American Trucker. I think we need.
Yes.
And get you playing.
Skipper, you know how I the sitting down for that long does not work for me.
He can't drive.
If there was a chicken sim, he'd be all over.
No, I wouldn't. I don't like. I put the chickens up on my stream and then I go do work.
Do you know what, TC? I'm actually glad that you put chickens up because it shows that it's nice to actually see nature on what you call it. Did we just lose someone? Who do we lose?
Oh, Frank. He probably was ready. I'm sure he was getting tired.
I do like it, mate. I really do. And it's nice to actually see that type of stuff. I'm not trying to ask you, so I'm not trying to, because sometimes I watch, there's a YouTuber who has, what they called again? What they called the like
lurkers?
No, they're like meerkats. What are they freaking called again? Is it weasels? Weasel?
I don't know what you're trying to
they're small. They look like fucking small rats. I can't remember what they're called.
Mink.
Minks.
Minks.
Yoda, it's don't stress out. We're getting ready to wrap up. So
ferrets.
Yeah, I can't remember what they're called, but like this guy and his wife, mate, they've got about 3 or 4 of them, and these things are like all over the place, and it's so funny and it's relaxing to watch it because it's funny. So you seeing your chickens out, mate? I mean, that's nice. But I think you should get some lights and some like a little disco ball and
Party.
yeah, you know.
The VA sucks.
Yeah, and then put like an outhouse VC VA.
All right, guys. Anyone else got anything they want to plug?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks very much for the hospitality tonight. It was nice to hear Uncle Frank. AVA, keep your chin up. You're not alone, mate. And by the sounds of it, there's more people who are having issues with VA. You know, the thing
There's
is,
a lot more people hitting the like buttons on everyone's channels. By the way,
actual fact, where is your channel? By the way, can you?
Are you talking about Minnesota Black Girl Bridge?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm sure I'm following you. I'm sure I'm following you.
Oh yeah, everybody check out my playlist.
yes, absolutely. Everybody go over to the AVA.
Is watch time.
Yeah, we need to boost that up. I pretty much talk about them every time I do a video. So
yeah, post your link, TC, so I can because I can double check to make sure that
I can't get it to post as Skipper's channel. So
I'm shooting it to you. I'll post it in the thing too.
You know, and if you are looking for something that's not politics or philosophy or rants about what the hails or bubbles or
TC
DJ Rat, I know I'm not doing it. I'm not commenting. Really, Skipper? If you just need some downtime, honestly, where you just enjoy, and everybody that's done it can attest to it, AVA will back me up on this. The Freedom Flock on Saturday and Sunday are actually fun to watch and just relax to. And they put AVA's kids to sleep a few times.
And just for the record, TC, I have to make a statement. I've subscribed to the wrong person. I've now subscribed to you, and I've unsubscribed to the other person. I'm sorry. There's me thinking. I was wondering why the hell am I not seeing anything from you? And now I know why.
I want to know whose chicken streams you've been watching.
Without a lawyer, I'm saying nothing.
Watching the
AVA, you got any videos coming out soon?
No, I do not.
Are we allowed to ask? Are we allowed to ask you questions since you would be considered a minority in this group?
What the fuck? Yeah, sure.
He said, "I just lost." He just unsubscribed to my channel for that.
I'm the little brown one of the group, I guess.
You're the token non-white in the channel.
Yeah, I do change colors. I turn yellow in the winter.
That's because your tan fades, or what?
Yeah.
God,
you don't even know what winter is. What are you talking about?
That's too funny. That is too funny.
We have cold air. That's about it.
Oh, so Angel Perez, are you still awake, or did we scare you to sleep?
I bet she's walking around looking behind herself going,
just look at
stop fucking following me.
He's a fan of DJ Radis.
You come from a land down under.
Prisoner cell 1464. Return to your cell.
So
have you seen the video he put on YouTube about him dressed up as Waldo outside fucking Tube Town?
Check that out today again. That thing is fun.
But I really appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. I got another essay that's going to be going up on my friend Josh's Substack for the Disaffected Pod. I've launched a Substack, so believe it or not, TC actually writes fiction and poetry as well as nonfiction stuff. So I think I'm going to be using my Substack for that. But you're all welcome to come over to my channel. Definitely different content than what you get with Skipper and I.
You can buy his erotic fiction.
I promise you, if you come to my channel for erotic fiction, there will be no references to Skipper at all.
Have you noticed how he's like pushed you to one side and taken over your stream, and you blame me for talking a lot? Come on.
No, this is how we end it, though. We've always done it this way, so this is our way of.
I mean, to actually be I mean, I must say, TC, to actually sit on the same panel with you is fantastic. I mean, like since I've met you, I was like, I'm gonna get him to smile one way or the other. I
always smile. I always smile when I'm with Skipper because I don't have to do anything.
The last time I saw you, right, if you smiled, you would have cracked the fucking ice plateau of freaking the North Pole.
Like a smile. Smiling's my favorite.
But I always smile when I'm with Skipper because I don't have to do anything and I get to talk about whatever.
That's true.
It doesn't have to make any sense. I could just say shit, and it still sounds better than Skipper.
And plus, he doesn't talk that much. He just presses buttons.
Right. That's exactly. When he asked me to come on, I'm like, whatever. And then I could just, I got to let my hair down, so to speak. And
what hair? What?
Giving you two a bromance.
I will always be AVA's baby daddy.
Wait, don't you? What? Why do I feel like I need some sort of like adult protection?
We never did let AVA answer if he's got any videos coming out. We just kept cutting him off.
Yeah, he's probably sitting there going,
Nope, I do not.
Well, you should put a GoPro on the next time you go to the airsoft range and just put a video of that up because they already hate you. So,
ouch in the heart.
No, it's true. He knows that. I think it'd be hilarious.
The one thing I am going to do.
I stream my chickens. Why can't AVA stream his airsoft?
One thing I am going to do in the future, though, I do have a GoPro session, and I am going to connect it to my chest, and I am going to start doing videos of like working on motorbikes and doing special effects. So maybe I can help you sort of turn your chicken coop into maybe Darth Vader's bathroom or something, so the chickens have a little bit more comfort.
Did you say Darth Vader's bathroom?
Yes.
Veterans Affairs Commissioner removed.
I'm sorry. I'll go to my room. Oh, triggered.
It's a shame. I'm just trying to picture what Darth Vader's bathroom looks like at this point, and I'm at a loss.
We should get
the pointy things.
We should get a bucket and then sort of dress it up as Darth Vader and call it the dark side's shithole. You know. Lord Vader. Yes, master. Rise.
The minute you started talking about Darth Vader's bathroom, my channel subscribers dropped. It was
Okay, we're up.
we're
It's like, yeah, we quit. Bye.
Nerd. That's what I need. I need to get the sound thing of nerds.
Nerds.
Oh shit.
Well, I really appreciate everybody tuning in tonight, and what I said earlier about the three most important channels on YouTube right now being the Angry Vet and the Vigilance Committee and AVA is not a joke. I'm 100% serious about that. So
I'll have to see if I'm following the Vigilance Committee.
You definitely.
I watched the Andrew Cop the other night, and fucking hell, when he was sitting in his vehicle and he was talking, I came in halfway, and whoa, he was pissed.
I mean, the Angry Vet.
Yeah.
Well, he could have been, but he may also have been medicated. That happens at times. So.
Well, it doesn't matter. He was pissed.
Well, he is the angry vet.
He's very on brand.
Do you know I watched the one where he went into the shop and got all those fuel cans and all that? Oh, and I was like going, I wonder how quick they're going to call the police when they see that fucking shopping trolley full of fuel cans. Oh shit! Over here in the UK, if you'd have fucking walked around with a shopping trolley full of fuel cans, they would have had the TSG on top of you.
Stop saying trolley. You're killing me, man.
All right, folks, we're going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for being here. We do want to thank Uncle Frank for being here. It was great to talk with him. He's a big supporter of the show, and we're a big supporter of him. So, want to thank him. AVA, thank you for being here and for updating us on your struggle. Everyone, share that article that we wrote about AVA. Get that far and wide. I do know that the Wilborns, they intend to send it to President Trump down to Mar-a-Lago. That's what we want to do. We want to start getting this stuff out there. And I also want to thank Spawn Trooper for joining us tonight.
I didn't do it. Should we do it? Can't prove nothing.
And I always have to thank TC for being my co-host and putting up with me and my soundboard every single time.
And we are still looking for a Space Force veteran who's willing to admit it to be part of our veterans panel.
Yep.
We want to do at least once a month or so a veterans panel where we talk about veterans issues, and then if we get any proceeds from that, we'll set them aside for a very particular vet, whatever their cause might be. So
Space Force, that'd be interesting.
Space Force veteran, isn't that like trying to find a unicorn?
They do exist. There's only
they're out there. They won't admit it, but.
Can I ask a quick question? If we do get someone from Space Force on this panel or on here, can we sing the Klingon song? I'm sorry, TC. I had to say it. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it, and I said it. That Klingons on the starboard bow, starboard bow, starboard bow. The Klingons on the starboard bow, starboard bow. Jim.
Why do I bring you on this channel?
I'm sorry, because I got a weird sense of humor. I mean, I'm sorry. It's fucking 4 o'clock in the morning.
Because he doesn't tell the kind of bad jokes that you do. That's why. It's a different level of bad joke.
Hey, hang on. Wait, what?
Dry British.
ISIW. I said what I said.
Yeah, bitch. Oh, wait a minute. My feelings are hurt now. Let me go and talk to I think I'll go to Lisa tonight. No, I'll go to Tori. She'll cuddle me and hold me. And, sorry, what?
Poor person. Skipper.
Thank you.
Roll call and get us out of here.
Thank you again, DC. Thank you to everyone who came and gave us chats and whatnot. Make sure you subscribe to all the people that were on our panel because we want to show the love and we want to make sure that we're boosting AVA's watch time. Take a look at his videos. He's got a whole playlist. Turn it on, let it play. You'll be amazed at some of the stuff that you see on his channel. And beyond that, folks, thank you for being here. And as usual, thank you for being worth serving.
Yeet.